Well, that's what it is. It's the Rodriguez status hearing. Christian Rodriguez. I don't know what this is about, so let's go back. Stand by.
I heard one other person died from COVID, and he was 19. I saw it on social, or 1995. Saw it on social media, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything.
Was he from Anaconda?
Yeah, I can't remember what his name was.
This is October 26th.
I just saw it last night.
We're waiting for 9:30, District Court number 3, Ray Dayton, to start his
so that's all I know.
case, court, whatever you want to call it. So we're waiting. This is interesting because this is in Granite County.
Definitely hits home real quick, doesn't it?
Blaine Bradshaw has his suit on.
Hi.
I don't know who A.A. Allen is.
Yeah, no, Blaine.
Good, good. You work from home?
I'm here.
Cold over your way?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Reese and Frank were out in the tent with the wood stove over the weekend hunting.
Wow, they're serious.
Yeah.
They get in?
Every year. Yeah, they got two deer, so really.
It's 9:26, so here's just chatter, okay?
Frank's is a pretty good
this is the clerk
Make that into some
for
sausage.
District 3 here in Granite County. I'm not familiar with who A. Allen is, but that's the county attorney, Blaine Bradshaw. Lauren Mays, I don't know who she is.
Just working.
But I just found out about this. So I'm recording it, and we're going to watch it for a little bit.
Transcript done Friday.
It's 9:27.
Oh, there's an appeal?
I have no idea. She just wanted the transcript.
But there was no, I didn't know that there was a final order on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know the gates are open when I went to Mom last time.
These are my notes on the side, just ignore them.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't live in that.
But you see,
she lives up and around.
the JP court doesn't do this.
Where you get more
Our JP court
California
doesn't do this.
Unfortunately.
Our county commissioners do it, but it's not as well as this is being done.
Yeah, Mom, Genesis put their cattle in.
Okay, let's,
on that other part next to my mom's.
Might as well listen to it. I was going to put it on standby, but...
She wasn't. They eat the weeds and everything.
9:28.
Fucked over her mailbox.
Alright.
Cool, huh?
A little too good of work there, huh?
Yeah, little cows.
Come on, focus.
So I've seen Elena Gagliano on, is she?
Yeah, she requested to be a spectator.
Interesting.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
How's it over there? Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, Blaine.
How's it going?
Good. Yeah, cold this morning that I was not quite ready for.
Apparently he was a little upset, huh? Come on, you know we're going to be...
So far, so good.
Focus.
See how that keeps going.
Just say the dog didn't stay outside very long.
In and out. He's like, okay. Don't believe me having to work too long.
Yeah. Like, it's way too cold.
He's probably reading it. I said morning, Blaine. It sounded like he was a little, gee whiz, I don't understand. He put good morning. He looks like he's confused.
Christian and I are playing phone tag. I think we should be able to get this resolved, though.
Okay.
That was, I need to get him on the phone long enough for him to confirm details, but last we talked, and so I think it'll just be a matter, since he's in Idaho, of getting paperwork figured out. And
we have 7 participants. Can you see that on the bottom here?
But I think we should be able to get this wrapped up.
All right. Sounds good.
Isn't that so? Well, time is 9:30, and we're his Honorable Ray Dayton. I think this case is Rodriguez. Isn't this cute? Isn't this cute? Oh, I thought I pulled it up. You could see then that it was Rodriguez's case. Still waiting. 9:31, but I guess judges can do whatever they want. That's the rule of law. It's quiet. Okay, let's go stand by.
They trim it at all.
That is the Honorable Ray
Keep
Dayton,
warm.
right there, folks.
Got a beard too.
It gets a little
He's
softer when it
apparently,
gets older. You don't have that
doing it from home. He doesn't usually have a beard,
Wow,
but even
what's going on?
our county
You got
attorney wore a suit. He doesn't even have a robe on. Interesting. Uh-oh.
Non-video participants.
Is he noticing that I'm here? Who is this person? Okay, this should be interesting,
Out of
folks.
curiosity, who is E. Gagliano?
Get that?
He's
A
asking who
county
is.
resident that requested.
Okay, good enough.
Good enough.
I indicated that I didn't need to have defendants here. It's kind of an ad hoc decision to have a status conference. And I'm doing this on all cases pretty much all cases
Turn that up just.
that have a trial date between now and the end of November. I'm not aware of any problems. I'm not here to complain. But some of these cases, and I'm not sure about Rodriguez, but some of them did not have a pre-trial. In most, when we were making a new schedule, or when we were making a new schedule starting X months ago, when it was likely that we were going to have some kind of coronavirus procedures if we were going to have a jury trial. We, in addition to setting a pre-trial and a trial, we had a pre-trial so that we could discuss how to assemble a jury, if we were going to assemble a jury, what venue we were going to use to select the jury, that sort of thing. And it's been useful, but we didn't have one in a lot of these cases, and so I just figured, well, a lot of the cases that were coming to pre-trial without a pre-trial, well, it kind of depends on who you're talking about lawyer-wise, but you get these guys, yeah, I'm ready for trial, we'll pick the jury in such and such, Well, no, you won't. It's problematic. There's a deadly disease out there. And we, as members of the bar, and myself in particular, as district court judge, I always say I'm the guy that, when I tell somebody to come to court or go wherever, go to the theater, people have to comply. It's an order. It's a summons. And so I'm not going to do that unless I can do it. safely, and how do you do that? We haven't had to even think about it in Granite County during the pandemic yet, where we might select the jury. We got really close on a criminal case in Powell County. We had a prison inmate that there was a misdemeanor, and the stars lined up to where I had a hard time saying, this looked like we could do this safely. It was a misdemeanor, so we only needed 6 jurors. We were going to select the jury by Zoom, and we would do the jury selection on a Monday. Tuesday we have people come in for a 1-day trial. We had a pre-trial. So we talked about all the jury selection stuff. We got the coronavirus questionnaire out, the pre-trial questionnaire. The lawyers were fabulous. It was Demers and Patrick Moody going to try the case. Inmate was on board. He was okay with doing it all that way. And we were heading for it. State was anxious. Anxious might be an exaggeration, but the state was wonderful. They were being very cooperative. The judiciary, the Supreme Court Administrator's Office, the IT people. I was lobbying for some hardware. I wanted to get some bigger monitors from the state, so when the lawyers were picking the jury, they could see a lot of people and see them well on a Zoom meeting. I was advocating for a great big screen in the courtroom where we're going to try the case, because the jury would be sitting farther away from any audio video stuff because of the social distancing. We put the jury probably in a gallery, and in Powell County, it's a long, skinny courtroom. And so the gallery's quite a ways away from the wall where normally people project movies and that kind of thing. And there was some video. So I was going to see if they'd hang up an 85-inch Samsung or something like that on the wall. And they weren't saying no. And then we had, it was going to be November. Matter of fact, today would have been the day. What's Demers' partner's name? Upham? What's her name? Jamie. Yeah. So she strikes me as a techno-savvy person, and Moody is, and so I thought this was going to be a model for jury selection in the era of COVID. And then the next trial was going to be November 9th, and it was a civil trial, and it had 3 sets of lawyers, maybe 3 lawyers, 3 law firms, good lawyers, very experienced trial lawyers. If you were to watch a jury selection, it was a damage case, admitted liability, car accident, classic, plain old damage trial. Guy hurt his shoulder in an auto accident, turned out to be a lot worse than anybody expected. He had a couple surgeries, but there's questions as to pre-existing versus accident, questions as to the impact on his employability. He had already retired, but had plans, and they had been well prepared. Motions practice abounded. So again, these are, and kind of grudgingly, the lawyers said, yeah, we'll try to pick the jury by Zoom as an alternative to not having the trial at all. We're bumping civil cases almost 100% to later. Criminal stuff we got to look twice at before we bump it. It's for the trial concerns, but there's a balancing there, and we have another juggle ball we have to juggle, and it's a big one. But the prison guy, about 10 days before trial, or maybe a little longer, the warden called and said, we don't want you to do this. You're the boss, but all of a sudden we got a bunch of coronavirus at the prison. And they hadn't had it before. I told the lawyer, state's lawyer, that I want a tested, certified, COVID-free inmate. I want a certified, tested, free set of guards. Period. And they couldn't do that, and they couldn't. They just locked down. And so we are not proceeding on that trial. I'm not even sure. I don't know what will happen with that. And so we had I had an ad hoc pre-trial with the lawyers on the civil case, and we talked about Zoom and all that, and they were getting questionnaires ready, and just the preparation was 100%. But pre-trial rolled around, I got them on there, and I said, guys, I ain't going to do it. Too much COVID. And I was in Powell County, and that was before Powell County had its epiphany or whatever. I don't know if it was a blow-up or if it was a blow-up of information. It went from single digits to 80 or something like that, overnight. And that did not include the prison. There was an article somewhere, the Supreme Court administrator sent us an article about the last counties still COVID-free in the country or something like that, and it was a national, I don't know where the article came from, but it talked about Deer Lodge County, and it talked about a wedding. How we were going from 4 to 10 or whatever, then all of a sudden we have a wedding. And I even had a picture of Hempstead at the Ranch Bar. He's been coronavirus careful, and then he had a bunch of tourists come to the wedding, and people inside the bar, and he and others got coronavirus. And, it's worrisome. I felt poorly over the weekend, and it's like, I got to tell you guys, if I get the coronavirus, we're all screwed. Because I don't touch anybody. I don't come near anybody.
No sex.
In the 48 hours prior to me feeling sickly, I bought a snow shovel at the hardware store. I went in, there was one other guy in there. He was buying a snow shovel, and I waited for him to clear. He had a mask on. I went in, bought my shovel with my mask, held it out to the clerk so she could do her card or paid for it, and walked out. And then I brought my ballots to the courthouse. It was cold out. I had gloves and a hat and my mask. I had 3 ballots. I put them in a plastic bag, so I let my ballots cool off for 3 days before I dumped them like this into the bin. Took my own pen out and wrote my name like that. It didn't touch anything. Hand sanitized, put my gloves back on, and left. That was my exposure. How did I get the coronavirus? You guys aren't so lucky. And so if I were to say, I don't know, Mr. or is it Christian? That's a guy, right?
Yeah, it is.
Where he comes from, where the witnesses come from, we'd have to felony. We'd have somehow figure out how to put 60 people somewhere, 70 people. We'd have to start off with like 120 people to get 60 people. And so, I wasn't going to make my coronavirus speech today, but it just spills out of me. Because that's what we're talking about. We wouldn't be having a status conference if it wasn't. Kirk Kruger always tells me that he has an informal pretrial before the pretrial where he bends people's arms to get the case settled. He doesn't do it on the record. Brad Newman, he used to have an Omni late in the case, later than I have it, and he required the inmate or the defendant to be there. And it was one of his methods to make sure people were working on the case. That the defense lawyer knew where his client was or her client. That if they were going to make any motions, the motions had been made, or they know what the motions are going to be. They talked about exposure in terms of who might win or lose, that type of exposure. And it was a vehicle or an avenue towards resolution. And that's sometimes, you guys, I'm not worried about. You guys are the type that work on your cases, get your cases ready, analyze it for yourself. What's the trial date on this one?
I'll tell you, Judge, I'll find that for you, but, it's November Saturday. I'm just waiting to hear back. I reviewed a plea offer with my client that I think he is likely to take. We just haven't been able to basically iron it all out just yet.
Yeah, I didn't want to trouble the clerks or anybody, just like you guys. I didn't want you to have to drag your client on short notice. And I didn't ask the clerks to send me files or anything. We've got this one, we've got 10, 12 others throughout the day in the other counties.
November 30th, Judge, was the trial date on this one.
The 30th, wow. You think you might have her done, huh?
I think so, Judge. Yeah, there's been a plea offer out there from the state that I think is a reasonable plea offer. I talked with my guy about it last week, and so I'll connect again with him this week and facilitate paperwork. He does live in Idaho, so that's been part of we do a lot by mail, so things are a little snail mail, slower process is all.
Well, tell me, what's the charge?
There's a criminal endangerment related to a vehicle accident, criminal possession of dangerous drugs, and a misdemeanor drug paraphernalia charge.
And I'm not going to participate in your negotiations, but so I can get a better feel for it, what's the offer?
Your Honor, he would plead guilty to the criminal endangerment with the state's recommended deferred imposition of sentence. There'd be a deferred prosecution agreement on the other felony, and then he'd plead guilty to the paraphernalia charge as well.
Blaine likes those deferred prosecution agreements.
I like that Blaine likes those deferred prosecution agreements.
He uses them judiciously because he's going to get a conviction this way, but can deal with the other charge while keeping his hooks in him.
Right.
So that sounds like if this case is going to settle. If it were not to settle, what's the date of the final pretrial?
November, I think the 5th. Yeah,
November 5th?
Yes.
And a November 30th, so that's probably close to enough time. That's just next week.
Yeah.
So you think about it, guys. Next week we'd have to be talking about questionnaires to jurors on it. Get the damn thing settled. Button it up.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Need any other words of wisdom?
I think if I do, I'll probably give them a 10 or an 11, so I'm good.
You got some others, okay.
I think I came off on 10, but I'm back on it. Yeah.
I didn't have to say a word there. That was nice.
Well, you're in the driver's seat. You're the power. You're the center of power on these things.
Hopefully Morgan knows that.
Things okay in your office? Everybody healthy? And
Yeah, Claudette's right here. Everyone's doing healthy. Everyone's.
I noticed something, Blaine, that your office became much more efficient. You became a better lawyer right about the same time Claudette got there.
That's a good compliment. She's very good. You probably heard you say that too. So.
That's why I said it. I should add, I would not be the judge that I am without Sheila. And tomorrow, the Supreme Court is going to recognize her as one of Montana Judiciary's exceptional employees.
Awesome, very well deserved.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah. I was remiss last week because I hadn't read my email yet on Wednesday when I had a crowd to talk to. So.
Is that by Zoom, or how are they doing that?
It is by Zoom. She's already been awarded they're selected for the distinction along with 3 others.
Cool.
2 others, total of 3. And there's a remote Zoom type ceremony, I think at 1:30, and there's a link to, Sheila would be happy to send it to you.
Yeah, send it over.
Awesome.
Public's welcome. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to make a speech or not, but
You'll be ready if they need one, though.
probably think of things to say about it. All right, guys, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. See you later.
Have a good day.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, folks, that was a Zoom meeting, District Court 3. Granite County's under District Court 3. Kind of interesting, isn't it? And we're really interested in who is this E. Gagliano. Okay, this will be going out. Stay tuned. Bye. Again, this was the case. You notice Rodriguez, okay, and it was Christian Rodriguez. How prepared were they? They didn't know any of the details except the name. This is the justice we get from our courts. Is it unbelievable? Okie dokie. Stay tuned. More to come.